Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be breaking the chains of the relationship. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. Pay it forward to someone who can use the wisdom and the education. I'll jump right in. So breaking the chains of the relationship, usually when you are in a relationship, there's no chain involved. You don't have to break a chain. But that is not the case in a narcissistic relationship. You see, whether you know it or knew it or not, the narcissistic relationship that you were in, you had a chain placed around you. Whatever part of your body you want to think about it, it was placed there. And that was a very difficult chain to break because you did not know what you were up against. You did not know that you were actually in a relationship with an individual who tried to take you down, who did not want to build you up, who wanted to deceive you, manipulate you, to take from you, and to eventually crumble you up like a sheet of paper and throw you away on the freeway because they found your replacement, i.e. the new supply. Point being, breaking the chains of the relationship, this is a very challenging thing to do. Now, if you got discarded, my heart goes out to you. You did not expect the ending of the relationship to end the way it did. If you ended the relationship yourself, you broke the chains on your own. Either way, it doesn't matter how the relationship ended for this video. What matters is that you're out of the relationship and there no longer is a chain tethering you to the narcissist. Now, keep this in mind. The narcissist, many times people, they think, oh, if you were in a narcissistic relationship, people just think, oh, it's no big deal. Just get over it. Just fall in love again or just make new friends, whatever. It's not that simple. It's not even close to being that simple because there's a spiritual side of this relationship. And that is what I'm talking about when I say the chains of the relationship. It is breaking the trauma bond. It is understanding your value. It is knowing that this individual, perhaps throughout the whole length of the relationship, certainly the body of it, the devaluation stage, this individual was trying to play games with you, toy with you, mess with you. They were testing you each and every day. Remember, the narcissist knows what they're doing. You may think, I'm not so sure about that, Andrew. Well, think again. They do. They know that they are a low vibrational individual and that they can't vibrate high like you can once you break the chains of the relationship. Keep in mind, the narcissist doesn't want you to A, figure out who they are, B, discover anything about narcissism, C, understand that you are the one with the beautiful bright light. You're the one with the positive energy. You're the one with the abundance. The narcissist needed you. They needed an individual or individuals to regulate themselves, to make them feel important, to make them feel valuable, to put themselves up high on the pedestal the whole time belittling you or demeaning you or diminishing you. This is the toxicity of the narcissistic relationship. And let me tell you right now, breaking the chains of the trauma bond or breaking the chains of the relationship, which are completely interchangeable, this is no easy task. It's no small feat. It is something that takes a lot of work, a mountain of work you'll have to put into yourself to do this. Now, my channel gives you the wisdom. I give you the tools. I give you the education. I give you my path that I took and that I suggest many individuals follow in my footsteps. Keep this in mind. If I can break the trauma bond, and here I am today, 3 years later, you can too. It will take time. You will be tested to your core. You will face many challenges. You will have to break the chains of that relationship. In other words, what was once familiar to you no longer will be familiar. Let's say you did get discarded. Well, what happens there? I'll tell you what happens. You realize rather quickly that your support system has blown up and that virtually no one is going to come knocking on your door to check in on you. I mean that literally and figuratively. On top of that, you have to wrap your head around what narcissism is whenever you get that first light bulb moment. You're on the channel, so you're getting that. That's a huge thing to accomplish. The third thing you need to figure out is that, or identify, is the narcissist doesn't love you. They've never loved you. They don't love anybody. They don't care about anybody but themselves. Each and every person in the life of a narcissist, all they are is an opportunity or an extension or an enabler or someone to be blamed for the narcissist's poor behavior. Think about it. There is no stability in a narcissistic relationship. These relationships are one-way relationships to Destructionsville. And you were the punching bag for a period of time, or you were the target, or you were the person who would experience the poor behavior behind closed doors, and you couldn't figure it out. You couldn't wrap your head around why this individual was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, or Mrs. Hyde. In other words, every day, or virtually every day, you would come home and you would be experiencing gaslighting, stonewalling, silent treatment. You experience poor behavior, rage fits, all of these things that I mentioned on the channel. And then when you went out in public, many times you would see their game face. That's when they would bat the eyelashes. That's when they had the rosy cheeks. And that's when they would act like they were all innocent and pure. And they tried to glom onto other unsuspecting individuals. Think about it. I share this part frequently on videos. Remember when you used to go to barbecues or events with the narcissist? Think about this. This is before you knew the narcissist was a narcissist. Would they be walking in front of you entering the event? Probably. Would they be holding your hand? I doubt it. Would they be acting like they were single? Definitely. Would they be scoping out the room and seeing who is in the room or the event and trying to look for other people to glom onto or to talk to or to learn about? Definitely. Would they be on their smartphone and validating you? Absolutely. Would they have multiple smartphones? Yes. When you ask them to do anything for you, like, hey, can you grab me a plate of food, or can you get me this or this at the event? Would they do it? Maybe reluctantly. I doubt it. They would probably say, you can do it yourself. What's the big deal? Get my point. These are toxic individuals. These are people that don't want to build you up, that don't want to be there for you, and that don't want to help you out. But yet, at the same time, what do they want? They don't want you breaking the chains of the relationship. They don't want you breaking the soul tie, the spiritual connection. They don't want you breaking the trauma bond. You may think, well, Andrew, what is going on here? I'll tell you what's going on. This is a battle of goodness and not goodness, i.e. evil. It's real. It walks the planet. It's true. If any of you have been engaged in a narcissistic relationship, specifically if you've fallen into the trauma bond, you know what I'm talking about. Veterans, drop comments below. Share your information and wisdom with the newbies. Newbies, understand that you're going to have a mountain of work in front of you to get through this, but you will in time, in your time. Remember, the healing path is not linear. Some days you will have great days. Some days you will be challenged. But as long as you are focused on yourself and understanding this relationship was not your fault, you were manipulated, you were duped, you were tricked, trapped, taken advantage of, and that this person does not and did not ever have your best interest at heart. I'm talking about the narcissist. When you realize that, then that's when you can actually really begin to heal and begin to move forward. You will have to practice radical acceptance. You will have to understand that the narcissist did not love you. They don't love you, and they don't love anybody else. And you'll also have to understand that where you are today is not where you will be in 3 months, in 6 months, in 9 months, in a year. I'm living proof. Each and every day that you spend putting your energy and placing your attention and your energy within yourself and understanding that you are the beautiful, bright, shining light, you are the positive energy source, you are the person that made them run. In other words, that made the narcissist, you are the fuel that gave them the energy to do exactly what they did. But now that energy is going back into you. This is when you understand that you really do have a superpower. And it's not just your empathy. It's you being you. Think about what I'm sharing with you. The narcissist doesn't just target or look for any random individual. They look for people that are bright, shining lights, that have things to offer. In other words, financial resources, arm candy, tangible assets, the ability to parent, the ability to procreate, the ability to put a roof over their heads or feed them or pay their tuition or pay their way through school, whatever it is. That's what the narcissist looks for. They look for opportunities in people. And you didn't realize that because you weren't taught narcissism in school. You just thought that you fell in love or struck up a friendship or went into business with this person and they did have your best interest at heart. Nothing could be further from the truth. The narcissist saw what you had in you. They saw what you could not see in yourself. They saw how caring of an individual you are and or were, and how much you wouldn't accept defeat. You wanted to keep working for the relationship. Example, let's say you got married. Well, if you got married, most likely, and you married the narcissist, what happened? Well, your vows meant something to you. Did they mean the same thing to the narcissist? Absolutely not. That's why many times the narcissist is married 2, 3, 4, 10 times. And I'm not saying that lightly, it's real. Another side note, caveat, I get it. Healthier individuals get married multiple times too. I understand it. I'm not saying everyone that gets married multiple times is a narcissist, not even close. I'm saying if the person you were in the relationship with, if you were their second or third or fourth marriage, there's a red flag there because you're on the channel, you're getting the wisdom, which means most likely you married a narcissist or a toxic individual. But getting back on track, breaking the chains of the relationship, this is something that you will have to do. Eventually, what will happen is you will either find my channel and get a light bulb moment, or you will draw the line in the sand and say, wait a minute, I've done so much for this person. They've ripped the mask off. They've smashed it on the ground. They're now showing me how much disdain they have for me, how little they care about me, and how much they want to inflict damage upon me. Now I need to start doing things for myself. Why? Because this person won't change, i.e. the narcissist. They can't change. They won't change. They won't improve. They can't introspect. They won't be accountable. They won't say that they did anything wrong. What they will do is they'll blame shift you and say that you're the reason the relationship fell apart, or that you weren't living up to your expectations, etc. That is all false rhetoric. It's all nonsense. The truth of the matter is you gave to a fault. Perhaps you were a people pleaser, a yes person. Maybe you didn't have boundaries or limited boundaries. You couldn't say the strongest word in the English language, which was no, and it is no. Remember, when you say no to something or someone, you're saying yes to yourself. The narcissist does not like boundaries. When you put a boundary up, usually you'll experience a rage fit, or you'll be discarded the very next day or shortly thereafter. Once they realize that you're wising up, you're figuring them out, you're catching on to them, you're putting the pieces of the puzzle together, perhaps while you're still in the relationship. When this happens, that's not good for the narcissist. Remember, the narcissist wants to disappear in the middle of the night, and they want you thinking that they were the love of your life, that they were the person that completed you, that they were the best thing that ever happened to you. That's all nonsense. It's all nonsense. There is no validity to the narcissist. There is no core to them. They're empty vessels. They're hollow shells. There is no substance to them. The only thing that the narcissist needed is a supply source, or supply sources, actually, and a smartphone. That's what they need. But the truth of the matter is, breaking the chains of the relationship, it's instrumental. Each and every one of us must do this. If not now, when? I get it. Many times people say, well, I'm not strong enough, I can't do it yet. Well, then that's fine. It just means it's not your time. When you're ready, you will do it. Continue to get educated. Continue to become awakened and aware. Continue to become empowered. Understand what you're up against, and understand that you deserve better. Think about it. When you were in the relationship with the narcissist, you would wake up probably super early and you'd have an endless to-do list. And yes, when that list was completed, you probably were given a couple more things to do that day, and then tomorrow the list would grow longer, and on and on and on. In between those days, you would experience rage fits, toxicity, gaslighting. You'd get poor behavior. You would be ghosted. You would send long text messages to the narcissist, and they would give you one letter like K. They would invalidate you every way possible. Why? Because they're out gallivanting the globe looking for your replacement. You didn't know it back then. You now are getting the wisdom on my channel. Now you understand, post-narcissistic relationship, you can sleep in till 8, 9, 10, 12 o'clock in the morning if you want to. You don't run on another individual's schedule. You now operate on your schedule, and you do the things you want to do with whom you want, when you want, in your time. That is called slowing down. That's called filling the void. That's called learning. That's called becoming awakened. Understand the message. Breaking the chains of the relationship. There are so many different levels to this, but the trauma bond is what this video is really about. Breaking that is a huge step. Think about you right now, the person watching the video. Think about where you were when you were in the relationship, when you're caught up in the trauma bond, how you waited by the phone for the narcissist, how if they would text you or call you, you couldn't get to the phone fast enough to respond or react or type to them paragraphs of what you were doing or what you were about to do. That's what you did. You reported back to them. What were they doing? I'll tell you right now what they were doing. They were most likely with your replacement, and they were probably just seeing if you were around or available and testing what? Testing the trauma bond, seeing if you were still tethered to them the way they wanted you. That is a fact. That's true. That's how these things work. So when you actually get the wisdom and you break the trauma bond, which again is for a whole series, it's not one video, can't even scratch the surface there, but when you actually understand that the individual you're thinking about did not and or does not have your best interest at heart, and you need to close the chapter on the book of these people, go no contact, block them, remove and delete all flying monkeys and people associated with them if you can. If you can't, utilize gray rock. But when you understand that, that's when your energy returns. That's when the narcissist shrivels up like the wicked witch of the West, and they just disappear. Where do they go? I'll tell you where they go. They go to another unsuspecting individual, or perhaps a recycled individual who knows what they're getting themselves into, but that person themselves haven't broken the trauma bond. Get the message. If you've broken it and or you are on your way to breaking it, you know what I'm talking about. It's no small feat. It's a huge monumental task. And again, keep this in mind. You weren't prepared for this. You weren't taught this in school. You had to get the wisdom from my channel, and you had to couple it with your experience and read the comments in the comments section about other people's experiences and how they did it and what they did, and taking steps to fortify your life. Understand what I'm sharing with you. So breaking the trauma bond, breaking the chains of the relationship, it's huge. Every single step you've taken to get to this point here right now with me in time has taken you to this point. And there's a reason you're watching this video, because either A, you have broken the chains of the narcissistic relationship, B, you're about to, or C, you're in the middle of doing it. Any of those three are good things. What is not good is when you have a chain around you, i.e. the narcissistic spiritual connection, and you don't even know what it is. You're working for them. You're in that zombie-like, trance-like state. You don't know what's going on. You're existing in the narcissistic fog. You're not living in the present moment. Understand what I'm sharing with you. This is a very powerful and inspirational message to let you know that, yes, you will have to break the chains of the relationship. You will have to do that because no one's going to do it for you. Definitely not the narcissist. Think about this. Why do you think a narcissist hoovers people? That's right, because they want to see if you're still chained to them, if you're still thinking about them, if you're still pining for them, if you still are on their mind, or you're still thinking about them, is what I shared. That's what a hoover really is. It's to test you, to see how strong you are. Did you break the chains? Are you breaking the chains? Or are you still tethered to the narcissist? So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Stay true, stay blessed. Continue to become awakened and aware, and understand that you are the priority. You come first, second, and third. If you've broken the chains of the narcissistic relationship, drop comments below. If you know you need to, well, it's going to be something you're going to have to go through. I had to do it, and you will too. Nothing worth doing on this planet is going to be easy. You will be tested. You will be challenged to your core. You will be facing many things, perhaps even experiencing the dark night of the soul, but you will get through it if you utilize the tools that I'm giving you on this channel and understand that you can improve your life if you break that trauma bond, if you break the chains. Guys, no matter where you are on the planet, you are not alone. Remember that. You are not alone. God bless you. I love you all. And that's Nelson and Noah saying hi. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I love you all. God bless you. Bye.